So this is probably the most important video that you're going to watch all year. Reason being is because bankruptcies in the UK are up by 8%. Personal debt has hit a record high of over £1.89 trillion. Meanwhile, in the US, bankruptcies have also jumped to over 13%. Credit card balances have hit a record high, and people everywhere all around the world are going broke at record numbers. This isn't because they don't work hard or because they're not smart, but it's because they rely on one source of income and they don't have a solid plan. But in this video, don't worry, what I'm going to do is break down exactly what you can do to protect yourself, build real financial freedom, and avoid becoming another statistic. But before we get into that, I do need to say one quick thing, that this video shouldn't be taken as financial advice. I'm someone that was able to completely transform my life, leave my 9-to-5 job, and just build freedom online. And I'm here today to share the tips that I've learned over the years so that you could do the exact same thing. So just treat this video as a form of education, but I'm sure if you're able to stick through it, you're definitely going to learn something that's going to put you on the right path. But this now brings me on to one of the first things that I want to touch on, which is the main reason why most people are dealing with all of these different issues all around the world, which is mainly due to the fact that they're relying on just one single income from their 9-to-5 job. And by no means am I saying that working a regular job is a bad thing to do, but just relying on one single paycheck isn't really the smartest thing to do. And the reason for this is due to the things that I learned when I was working my 9-to-5 job that I quit around 9 years ago, maybe 8 years ago now. You know, I'm someone that went to school, went to college, went to university as a normal person should. And I graduated and then I went to work in the corporate world. It was something that I was excited to do, but it was only until I got to that job, I realized that, relying on one paycheck at the end of the month didn't really make complete sense. We've all got 365 days throughout the year, and not using them to the best of our abilities isn't really going to get us the freedom that we're looking to get. So again, working a 9-to-5 job isn't a bad thing to do. I believe it's something that you should use as a way to springboard you to the life that you're trying to get to and just out of any financial issues that you're probably dealing with. But this now brings me on to a question that I'm sure that most of you right now are probably thinking, which is, Sam, you're talking about all of these different people all around the world going broke, people not being able to manage their finances in the right way, credit card debt is up, all of these different bankruptcies are up as well. But what would you say is the solution? Well, that's a really good question. And I would say that one of the best things that anyone can do that might be working paycheck to paycheck, might be working a regular job, relying on one single income, is to initially start some sort of a side hustle. Just using myself as an example once again, when I was working my 9-to-5 job, I wasn't someone that came from a rich background. I didn't have rich parents or anything like that. I was someone that was living in public housing, waking up every single day, 5 a.m., getting on a busy train into central London, sitting on a desk Monday to Friday between 9 to 5. And even though I had all of this responsibility to make sure that my 9-to-5 job was being done accurately, I also had to make sure that I was using my time wisely before I went into work, during my lunch break, and when I got back from work, when it came to the side hustle that I was building up. Now, for those of you that are new to this channel and you're not sure of my backstory, the side hustle that I initially got started with back then was selling products on eBay. So in the morning, I would wake up before work, I would pack up all of the orders that I got the night before. During my lunch break, I would make my way to the post office to ship out all of the orders. And when I got back from work, I would speak to my suppliers and I would look for new winning products for me to list on my store. And this is something that I did consistently throughout the week and on the weekends as well. And it's something that I teach all of my students. We're currently living in a time where everyone wants everything handed to them. Everyone wants things to happen instantly and no one really wants to work for it. But things are never going to happen if you're not willing to take the necessary action. I would say because we're living in an era where people have shorter attention spans, it could be due to TikTok, Instagram, all of this short form content. Whatever the case is, most people are not able to focus on doing things for a prolonged period of time. When in reality, that's what you need to do when it comes to taking yourself out of any financial issues that you might be dealing with. And even if you're not someone that has financial issues right now, if you're someone that wakes up, makes their way to work, comes back from work, lays on the sofa and watches Netflix all night, then all that's going to happen is you're going to end up being one of these different statistics. So the overall point that I'm trying to get across to you is that you want to make sure that you're using your time wisely. You want to fill the empty spaces throughout your day doing something that's going to benefit your future self. And you don't necessarily need to break the bank when it comes to starting up a side hustle. There's so many different options out there when it comes to being able to start a side hustle that has a big upwards potential. So it's all about doing your research and figuring out what's the best one for you. But this now brings me on to one of the next points that I want to touch on, which is that you want to start some sort of a side hustle that can turn into an online business that could be ran remotely. So one of the things that I love about the times that we're living in right now is that the capabilities of being able to start a side hustle that doesn't cost a lot but can still earn you a decent amount every single month is really, really high. Back when I was working my 9-to-5 job, the only side hustle that was really available to me was to sell on eBay. However, now with the power of social media, with all of these different digital products, physical products, and all of these different online businesses that we can build, there's definitely not been a better time to get started with making money online, in my own personal opinion. And the reason why I specifically say that you need to start some sort of a side hustle that you can run remotely is because you don't want to just be stuck in one specific location. One of the things that I've learned over the years whilst building up my different online businesses is that you want to be able to be in a situation where you can pick up your laptop and your suitcase and move to another location if the one that you're in isn't really benefiting your online business in the best, most efficient way. For example, in the UK, there is record numbers of millionaires leaving and moving to various different places all around the world due to all of the different taxes that have been increased. But most of you right now are probably thinking, but Sam, what would you say is the best side hustle for me to do? Well, it's really difficult for me to give you an exact answer without knowing your skill set, your personality, and what you're going to be good at. But in my opinion, I would say that it's a combination of selling physical products and digital products all on the same platform. Again, physical products that you don't need to manually ship out yourself. Imagine being able to build an online store that whenever a new order comes in, it's automatically going to be shipped out without you having to buy the item yourself. You're not going to have to buy any inventory. So owning some sort of a dropshipping business, again, that has both physical and digital products is going to be one of the simplest ways for a beginner to get started. My recommendation is to check out this AI store builder when it comes to getting up and running in the most simplistic way, because this AI store builder is going to build you a dropshipping store preloaded with winning products. And it's also going to ensure that these different products are connected to suppliers so that you're not going to have to figure out which supplier is the best one to use. The tool that's going to make sure that all of this is running smoothly is going to be AutoDS. It's going to be integrated with this AI store builder. And the main reason why I'd say that this is one of the best side hustles to get started with is, number one, due to the fact that it could be ran remotely. You can build up a side hustle like this, take your laptop anywhere around the world, on holiday, whatever you want to do, and be able to operate it from anywhere with no real restrictions. Another reason why I say that using the AI store builder in combination with AutoDS is a smart way to go is because you're basically going to be able to build up an asset that could be sold in the future. This is something that a lot of people don't really speak about, but when it comes to building these different websites, using the AI store builder to help you get up and running, and using AutoDS when it comes to the fulfillment side of things, a lot of the manual work is going to be taken care of, and that basically puts you in a position where you can focus on your branding, focus on a lot of the back-end stuff so that you can build up an asset that, again, you can sell down the line. This is something that I've been able to do anyway. I've been able to build up these different e-com businesses and sell them. And it's a great way to, earn a decent income on a month-to-month basis and also get a lump sum payout if you're able to build your store right. But yeah, for the most part, I would say that this is one of the best side hustles to start doing if you're working a 9-to-5 job. It's not going to take up too much time, but the more time that you put into it, the better results that you're going to be able to get. But I want to move on to another tip when it comes to not falling for the trap of being a statistic that's going to end up broke, end up in debt, and end up not being able to afford basic necessities, which is that you don't want to just focus on active income, but you also want to focus on investing as well. And I do need to remind you once again, I'm just a random guy on YouTube, so this isn't financial advice. I'm just sharing what I've personally been able to do myself, which is building up these different side hustles that could be run remotely, which is great when it comes to getting that recurring monthly, weekly, daily income coming through the door. But in addition to that, also making sure that I'm investing my money wisely so that I can grow the money that I've been able to make. Now, for most of you that are watching this video, when you hear the word investing, you instantly think of buying properties. Maybe you think of, investing into some sort of physical item, but you don't necessarily need to do that. You can invest into stocks and shares, which is what I personally do. And the main way that I do it is with something called index funds. And just to paint the picture for you as to how this works, when you first build your side hustle, you're going to earn revenues and hopefully profits. And the profits that you're going to earn is going to go into various different pots. One of the first pots is going to be taxes. Depending on where you live, you're going to have to pay taxes, and you want to make sure that you're ready for them and you're keeping the money to the side whenever you get your tax bill. Another pot is into savings. You want to make sure that you're putting your money into high yield savings accounts so that your money can earn you something without you having to risk it in any way. But you also want to put your money into a investing pot so that you're going to be able to grow your money by 5, maybe 10% year after year. Now, there's no guarantees when it comes to investing, but the way that I do it is I build up these different investing portfolios using Trading 212. Using these different investing apps is a smart thing to do because you can set up certain automations so that you can buy into all of these different index funds that have been proven to do well over the past year, over the past few years. I'm going to put on the screen right now an example of what I'm talking about. If I wanted to set up a brand new automation and I wanted to put index funds like the FTSE 100, maybe the S&P 500, a range of different index funds that are performing well, I'm going to be able to do it with this app that you can see. I'm also going to be able to set the allocations and, make sure that everything is automated so I don't have to lift a finger. And I've just found this to be a great way to continuously stay ahead of inflation, stay ahead of, all of these different issues that are happening in the world. Because not only are people able to grow their income through appreciation, but they're also able to earn a dividend as well. So learning how investments work, knowing how to invest, and figuring out what is the best method of investing for you and your own personal situation is definitely something that's important to do when it comes to avoiding all of these different financial issues that are happening all around the world. And if you wanted me to make a detailed video step by step on how to build up an investing portfolio and what you need to do when it comes to automating it, just put in the comments down below, do the investing video and your specific location so I know how to tailor the video, and I'll get onto it ASAP. But yeah, guys, for the most part, I would say that those are the main things that I wanted to share with you today. All of these different lessons that I've learned to get myself, going from being completely broke to not being broke and just being able to live a life of freedom. And I want you guys to be able to do the exact same thing. So just to recap what we've spoken about today, start a side hustle, make sure that you start one that could be done remotely. Also make sure that you learn about investing and try and do your best possible when it comes to managing your finances in the most efficient way possible. Now, if you found any value in this video, you've learned anything, don't forget to press the like button. I really appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe as well, hit the bell notification so that YouTube can let you know once a new video has been released. And if you want to watch a recent YouTube video that I made maybe a couple days ago where I break down some of the practical steps of starting a side hustle, you're going to be able to watch that right there. Check that out straight after this. It's definitely going to help you out and point you in the direction that you need to be on. But I'll catch you guys on that next video. Make sure you stay safe out there. Peace.